Well, it's done now. I am live, or so it says. Voidco 22 is joined. J. Neal Coaching, DOC Divine. Okay. Around. So, hi. Bob Doyle here. It's Monday, and it's a little past 10 a.m. Pacific time for our LOAScope this week. And hey, Rob Hurrell. I got the rest of your files, by the way. Got them all. I'm getting ready to sync them all to my phone so I can camera around. Stephen Manis here. Diane Pioli, and Building Social. Hi, Brian from Detroit, Michigan. It's nice to have you here. Claire does copy. Hey, Claire, I just noticed in our system the other day that we tried to send you an email, I guess, after you had requested something from us, the meditation, and it was undeliverable. So I don't know if there's an email problem there or not. So, yes, I'm a little bit late today, and I have a very awesome reason that I think is going to impress all of you. Hi, Tammy from LA. I also am in LA. And the reason that I was late today is that I forgot. Huh? Pretty impressive. Totally just got sucked into doing something else. It was really, here's what was odd about it. I'll show you the sign. Is it right? It just says a lot of positive things. That's so Lynn. So yeah, I was actually, oddly enough, typing an email about joining me on Periscope every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I realized, hey, I should be doing that right now. I looked up at the clock and it was 10:12. So as I was typing, I was actually not in integrity at all, was I? So, and I thought, well, maybe I just won't do it today. Who's going to notice, right? But no, I can't. That's no. No, not how I roll. Better late than never, right? And I want to talk about this topic. Anyway, so for those of you who may be new, Bob Doyle here is, well, actually my name is Bob Doyle. And I'm probably best known for my work in the law of attraction. I was in a film called The Secret. Yes, I know I'm human. I admit it. I wanted to try and get away with, sending a different message, but yeah, I'm human. Kim from Nova Scotia, definitely glad I scoped. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that very much. Well, I appreciate that, Claire. You did notice. You noticed. Awesome. Well, that's wonderful. Yo, 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 Web Evie in the house. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, yes, I was telling you who I am. Yeah, a little film called The Secret a few years ago about the law of attraction. I've been teaching the law of attraction since I need to send you something on doing voiceover for a game. Awesome. Oh, I'd love that. That's on my bucket list. Voiceover for a video game. Bring it. DM me. I'm all over it. Same thing happened to me today. LOA, baby. Oh, what? You forgot your scope? Yeah, weird. I'll blame the moon. Let's blame the blood moon. It got in my brain. There's an eclipse of my brain. That's what's happening. Beyond creative. All right, awesome. So, yeah, so I scope 3 times a week, 10 a.m. Pacific time, on various topics related to the law of attraction. An hour late. Well, I don't know. Related to the law of attraction or creating your life by design, etc. And you can feel free to share this broadcast by swiping over and hitting share. And you can share with your Twitter followers, you can share with your Periscope followers, and you can even share on Facebook. Isn't that awesome? You didn't miss anything. Nope, not yet. I've just been rambling. You know how I do. Waiting for people to get in the room, settle in, get your little coffee or whatever it is you drink in the morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it is where you are. Who do you think, who on this scope is the furthest from me here I'm in Los Angeles, California. You might be a rock star, but your keyboard isn't. Yeah, I'm so bad at typing on these phones. It's redonkulous. Ireland, that's pretty far. Nice to have you here, Noel. What time is it there in Ireland? Hypno Honey, what a cute name. I think we've crossed paths before here. Linda Van Haver, expert in creating self-esteem, empowerment coach, hypnotherapist, creator of Claim Your Thunder. Hey, you know what? I need to get my glasses. As you know, if you follow my scopes on a regular basis, my eyes, so much better. Pretty far continentally. You are in Los Angeles. Gracie, we're neighbors. Building Social just switched over to a $15 Bluetooth keyboard, really. And you use it with your phone? How about that iPad Pro, huh? And those accessories? All right, I'm off topic. Let's get on topic, shall we? I think I've done enough intro. Let's talk about this who do you surround yourself with topic. Relationship, and then just for those of you who are new, once I get started in talking, I have to kind of Chef Tammy, El Segundo, Chef Tammy. Dave Doyle in the house. Happy Monday from the PMA Professor. We are not related, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I know. One of the questions that I get asked about, again, to go into airplane mode. I was going to, and then I got distracted with where I was going to sit because Lynn's out there in my normal spot watching a blab or something. Anyway, so sorry for that interruption. Asked about relationships, law of attraction, etc. But one aspect, so, there's relationships like how do I bring in the one and all that stuff. That's not really what I'm talking about. We have attracted into our lives all the people, situations, everything is appropriate exactly based on who we've been being, what we've been vibrating, and all of that. So the people in our lives are there because we have been in vibrational alignment basically with who they are. And so on. I mean, there's things we have in common. There's, various levels of commonality in why people are in our lives. Some are family. I think I'm really more talking about outside of the family relationship, even outside of the marriage relationship. Really, it's the people who you surround yourself with in your life. When people, there comes a time in people's lives when they learn about this type of thing, the law of attraction, and they get a bigger vision for themselves. They start to think bigger, outside the box. They start to stretch their own comfort zone. They start to look at what's really, really important in their lives and decide that is what is going to happen. Okay, that basically creates a huge vibrational shift inside of a person. What they're vibrating or putting out there changes to match this new vision, this new level of excellence, or whatever it is you want to call the change that they have. And when that happens, you're changing your vibration, and you may or may not be in alignment now with some of the people in your life. Have you ever, maybe some of you used to be like a complainer or kind of a negative Nelly or whatever, and you had those people in your life. You kind of grouped with them, you met with them at the lunch table, and you just complained about things. Or maybe you just know people like this. But the point is that, you were in alignment with that, and you kind of surrounded yourself with that. And if you notice, you were probably sort of stuck in your life at that point. You just kind of feel there and everything, because you're all meeting and you're talking and you're just kind of affirming what is. And if it's not a good thing, you're still just affirming it. So what often happens though, now you've had a shift, you have a new vision, and you don't want to complain anymore. You want to think about the positive. You want to talk about what is empowering to you, and possibility, infinite possibility, and abundance, and just a whole different conversation. But at the same time, you don't want to lose your friends, right? Like some of these people, and it doesn't even have to be just a negative situation. I mean, like that you complain a lot. But the point is, I mean, you've heard the thing about, and it's stated and packaged in different ways, but when you look at your financial situation, for example, is generally about the same as the five people you surround yourself with the most. You've got this little cluster of energy, right? You kind of heard this, right? So, but what happens is that, when you start to move on, and you move out of alignment with people, you find it might be a little bit harder to be with those people and keep in that positive vibration, right? But at the same time, you've got a history, you've got a relationship history, you love these people, they're your friends, they're your whatever. And so you're torn. Because you don't want them out of your life, but you also know that when you're with them, it can be very easy to slip back into that way, the old way of being, that way that they know you, the way that you know them. Or if you choose not to, then they don't know what to do with you, and you find yourself kind of sitting in silence or having awkward conversations, or you asking to change the subject and they don't want to, and all of that. Can anybody relate to what I'm talking about here? I see a yes from Gracie Ruth. Anybody else? That whole it's really about, like right now, think about the people who you surround yourself with, okay? Who you choose to surround yourself with. Are there people in that group right now that vibrationally are not serving you, or that you're no longer really in alignment with them, and that sometimes you feel drained when you're with them? Does that happen? Does that happen for any of you, or have you all moved on from there? I get lots of WTF, is she on looks now? resonates with me big time. Yes, the people around me are manifestors. That's good, Evie. And that's what you want, right? Ideally, what you want to do is allow, and this is kind of the point here, because, yeah, you feel drained, right? I have myself, and a lot of it is about, well, okay, I'm trying to say 5 things at once, because that's just the way my brain works. So what do you do in that situation, right? You don't want to lose your friends, because there are still areas where you connect. You don't want to just have them out of your life, but at the same time, you got to guard your energy, right? So here's just what I've found from my own personal experience, because I've heard stories about people just cutting people out of their lives, and sometimes that may be what is appropriate, because really, if it depends on the contrast. If you just know that every time you're with this person or these people that you're going to be taken down, or they're going to give you a hard time for the vision that you've taken, sometimes it is easier just to cut them off and say, you know what, you're absolutely not serving me. You don't have to be a jerk about it. Sometimes it just happens naturally. I think even in The Secret, they talk about in the spousal relationship, if you're in one place and they're in the other, you zig, they zag. You just kind of, you kind of dance around each other. You manage how you spend your time with them. But here's what I have done for me, and it basically is, it honors who they are. It's not you being a jerk, and it's not, you're not condescending or any of that. But here's what I've done, and it's basically just about setting boundaries. I have people in my life who, we had before I got into this work, had a very specific way of being. Like when we would get together, the conversation almost always went down this particular road eventually, and it wasn't empowering. It was all about complaining. And then they would sometimes even go a little bit further, like get really amped up and get angry, and really just, they enjoyed it. Like they fed off of that negative energy. It's like, you know what I mean? People like that who just go on a roll of negativity and anger and whatever, just complaining. And you can tell it's feeding them in some weird, twisted way. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I used to just sit there and stand in it, let them do their thing, right? But God, what a drain. What a drain. And it really became where I found myself avoiding them, not answering the phone, not getting together, not doing any of that stuff. Yeah, family. But then I thought, well, but there's so much else about this friendship that I really appreciate, that I don't want to just say, well, that's it for you, out. So one day they started going down this road, and I just stopped them, and I just said, look, when we get together, it should be fun, right? We should be doing the things that we enjoy doing. I can no longer listen to this. I don't want to be a part of it. It doesn't help me. You don't really want assistance. You're not really looking for anybody to help you with the situation. You just want to get it out. It's no longer going to be with me. If you need to go vent with somebody, call somebody else who's still allowing you to do that. I would like to have fun today. Let's go get in the pool or cook out on the grill or talk about something that we enjoy, and not this, because I'm no longer ever going to do this. And if you go down this road, I'll leave the room. I'll stop the conversation, whatever. So it's really, and again, it's not about being a jerk. It's just stating your needs and setting that boundary. How are they going to complain? This is an intelligent person I'm talking to. How are they going to fight for the right to just complain, right? No, I need you to be miserable with me. Generally, that's not going to, they're going to get it. Now, look, if they don't get it, if they don't honor your boundaries, that is when you say, then it's done. Because we all know, like Web Evie and these other people who have probably made that shift, that once you really get clear on who you are and step into your power that way, you start to attract a whole new group of people. People who appreciate who you are, people who support who you are, people who celebrate this whole way of being, right? People who will actually bring you forward into this vision that you have for yourself in your life. Because if another person is just completely committed to their limitations or that way of being, the fact is they will never help bring you into your vision. And what place does a person like that have in your vision of your future? That's really the question. If you find yourself sort of clinging to, but I don't want to say goodbye to these people, then I want you to look at your vision again, the vision where everything is exactly as you want it. You got the abundance you want, the love, the security, you're where you are, you're where you want to be, you're who you're with, all of that stuff. Where does this person play into that vision? I think what you'll find is they don't. Right? Because you have created, what you're creating with this vision is this stream of wonderful positive energy that takes you through the day and has you, perform at your very best and be the best person you are and experience abundance and all of those things. Where's there space for somebody to come in here and take that all away from you? Even if just for a moment. Is it worth it? Just because you have a history, right? You're creating a new history now. And if this person or these people are not on board, and you're clear that they're not going to be on board, it's time to make the decision. It doesn't have to be filled with drama. It's really just about you allowing yourself to let it progress however it's going to. Sometimes you don't even have to make a decision like, okay, well, I'm going to take this person out of my life. Just be okay that, in other words, let go of your attachment that they must be in your life because of your history, and I think things will just kind of work out. You keep focusing on your vision, the types of people you'd like to have in your life, what that looks like, what that feels like, how you would all interact and play together. Keep your focus on that, and then just see what happens to your existing relationships that aren't serving you. Look, I mean, there may be a little, like as you see maybe some of your relationships that aren't serving you so well, as you see them sort of fade into the background or kind of go away, there might be a part of you, might be some ego, might just be part of your heart that feels sad, feeling that sense of loss, whatever it is. But that will pass as you surround yourself with new people, bask in that whole new level of energy. And then as your vision comes to fruition, you're just going to realize that those people were a part of your path and you wish them well, or you inspire them by who you're being and you show them the benefits of having a vision and not complaining all the time and what being in a more positive mindset and emotional state can do for a person. And maybe they'll come along for the ride. You just can't be attached to that, because when you're attached to somebody changing, well, it doesn't work. I think there's probably most of you know that already. Okay, so yeah, so I guess that's what, again, as always with these scopes, I'm leaving you with something to start to be aware of, something to notice in your life. When you find yourself in a situation with people and you find yourself being drained energetically, ask yourself, why do I continue this? Now look, some of it may be, well, these are the people I work with, they're at my job, and I can't get away from them. Okay, so I guess I'd invite you there's all sorts of things you might look at, What else about that job? Is that job serving you? Is it time to find something else? It's not about running away from the people, but it's just harder to stand in your power at first if you're just surrounded by a bunch of people who have been one way that you're clear that you don't want to be. But it really, look, all of this, there's so many aspects of moving into a life where you're committed to your vision that can feel uncomfortable because there's so much that changes as a result of thank you, Gracie, I appreciate that. There's so much that changes in your experience as a result of you shifting your energy in such a powerful way, and it can be very uncomfortable. And again, your ego screams at you. But that's why the vision has to be so inspiring. That's why you have to have the vision that says, why must I do this? Because you know that even with the discomfort of changing relationships or changing jobs or changing places to live or whatever happens as a result of the change that must take place in order for you to live into this vision, despite that discomfort, you know that it's worth it because you know where you're going. But if you ever start doubting that, or if the vision isn't strong enough, when it starts to get uncomfortable, your ego will do whatever it can to keep you staying where you are. Oh, just have lunch with this person one more time. Oh, complain just a little bit more. It'll feel good. All of that stuff's going to happen. And you have to be observant and aware, of what is going on, minding your vibration. And not getting sucked into somebody else's stuff just because of history or tradition or a long-standing friendship or whatever. You can make that choice, but you just have to understand what it's costing you. Okay? I think that's about it for this topic. It's pretty simple, but just looking at who do you surround yourself with? What choices do you make? And I guess it's really particularly like with work, you have limited choices. You have less of a choice of just the people that you hang out with socially. But take a look at that group. Take a look at those people. And if there's people that absolutely, that their energy pulls you down, you might want to just ask yourself, well, what am I getting? What's the positive I'm getting out of this relationship? How is this relationship helping me? And if you can come up with reasons, then great. So you focus on those, you set your boundaries, and then you see if they honor them. And then the relationship can continue. If you recognize that they are doing nothing for you, then maybe you just, make a choice to move on. You don't have to, again, you don't have to make it formal. You don't have to go in one day and say, Jim, I've decided that I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It just let things happen. You just be you, honor who you are. And then when Jim realizes he can't complain with you anymore, he'll go find somebody else to complain with. And you will feel so much lighter. It'll be like this huge, tremendous weight is off your shoulders. When you find yourself surrounded by people who uplift you, who you can uplift, it's just, who you're in that vibrational resonance with. Just a wonderful thing. Okay, so guys, in a couple of days, Lynn and I are off to Hawaii for a week. And I haven't never been to Hawaii. And so I don't, and I'll be in like meetings and things like that. So probably won't do as many LOAScopes as scheduled. Maybe I can fit them in at various times. Plus it's another 3-hour time zone difference. And I'd be doing them at 7 o'clock in the morning. So probably not going to happen, but I will probably be doing some check-ins because we're going to be with an amazing group of people. And I'm sure Periscope will be flying around all the time. So rather than Law of Attraction scopes formally like this at a set time, I'll probably be just checking in with a lot of extraordinary people and having extraordinary conversations about these types of topics, just not particularly in this format. I do anticipate enjoying our time in Hawaii. Lynn and I will also have some Bob and Lynn time after the event is over, which lasts, 3 or 4 days or something. And then we're going to be there another 3. And then I come home October 8th on my 50th birthday. And on a red eye. So that's not the best way to bring in the birthday, but I'm sure we'll get some sleep and we'll do something fun later that day to say, hey, he's 50. What's up with that? All right, you guys, enjoyed being with you as always. Sorry I was late, but I just forgot. It just happens. And so let's see. What's today? I think today's the 28th, 29th, 30th. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have one on Wednesday or not. I can't remember when we're leaving. But if I'm here, I'll do one more on Wednesday. Some amazing, life-changing, transformative topic. And I hope that you all have an amazing day, afternoon, evening, night. One of the things I'm going to do over the next few days is come up with my official close to my LOAScopes. Something that's not too dorky, but also consistent. This isn't it.